the last video, we spoke about how your brain already works through systems. But knowing that is not enough. The real question is, how do you bring that same clarity into your business? Because this is where most people get stuck. They try to fix everything at once. And that is the fastest way to get overwhelmed. Instead, start with just 3 recurring tasks in your business. Why only 3? Because this is not a transformation project, it's a test. You're not trying to redesign your business yet. You're trying to observe what clarity feels like. If you pick 20 tasks, you will feel overwhelmed. Your brain will resist. You'll stop halfway and say, this is too much. But 3 is small enough to attempt and big enough to notice a shift. It allows you to experience the difference. You're testing. What happens when something is clearly defined? Does confusion reduce? Do interruptions drop? Does decision making become faster? You're not building a system empire. You're running an experiment on cognitive ease. Once you see how it feels, once you notice how much mental space it frees, you will want to expand it yourself. That is why we start with 3. Choose 3 recurring tasks, not random tasks. Choose the ones that interrupt your thinking the most, require your approval again and again, create confusion when you're not around, feel small but constantly demand mental space. Those are cognitive drains. Comment and tell me which tasks you chose for your business, and I'll send you a brief systems blueprint which will help you systemize these tasks. Now, take the first task. Write the name of the task at the top. Then define these 6 things in this order. First, responsibility. Who owns this task fully? Not who helps, not who sometimes looks at it. Who is the one person responsible for making sure this gets done? Clear ownership removes confusion. When everyone owns something, no one really owns it. Second, the trigger. What exactly tells this person it is time to begin? Is it a customer inquiry, a confirmed order, an email from a client, any particular time of the day? Clarity begins at the trigger. If the trigger is unclear, the task will always be delayed or forgotten. Third, what do you need before starting? What information should already be available? What materials should be ready? What approvals should already be taken? What documents or tools or sources does the person need in front of them before they begin? When these inputs are clear, people don't have to stop midway to search for some missing pieces. The work flows. Fourth, the step-by-step process. What are the exact steps in the right order? Write them down exactly as they happen. Imagine you're explaining this task to a new employee who is doing it for the very first time. What would you say first? What happens next? What comes after that? Write every step in the same sequence in which the work actually happens. Don't skip steps because they feel obvious to you. If something is obvious, it should be easy to write, isn't it? If it is difficult to write, it means the step was never truly clear. The goal here is simple. There should be nothing left to guess, nothing left to personal judgment. The person doing the task should be able to follow the steps one by one and reach the same result every time. That is what clarity looks like. And fifth, the check. How will you know the task has been done properly? What should be true before you consider it complete? Was all the required information recorded? Was the client informed? Was the document verified? This is what protects quality. And sixth, the time expectation. How long should this take? Or by when should it be completed? Should a customer inquiry be answered within 2 hours? Should a quotation be prepared within 1 day? When time expectations are defined, work stops floating, it starts moving. When these 6 things are clear, something important happens. The task stops living in your head. It becomes visible. And once clarity is visible, it becomes repeatable. That is where systems begin, not with software, not with complex frameworks, but with one clear way of doing something, and then another, and then another. Now imagine if every recurring task in your business had that level of clarity. Work would move faster, decisions would reduce, interruptions would drop. But don't try to systemize everything at once. The real question is, where should you begin? We'll talk about that soon, because the order in which you build systems matters more than people realize. Until then, remember this: systems don't begin with complexity, they begin with clarity.